Hey everyone, welcome back to another Intellect nursing video. In this video, we're going to focus on neurotransmitters. This will help you understand the basic foundations of mental health nursing and help you understand some of the conditions that you'll hear about and also test about on the NCLEX and your nursing exams. So this covers specifically dopamine, norepinephrine, serotonin, acetylcholine, and GABA. So let's get right into it. So we're going to go through this fast. If you have not noticed already, we do have flashcards that you can download in the nursing membership that you have. So if you don't have those, make sure you get them out, take your notes. I'll go in a little bit more detail. That's what's shown on the flashcards. But we're basically just going to explain the mechanism of action, the location where it comes from, and the function of it, of course. And once again, if you know these neurotransmitters, you're going to understand the pathophysiology a lot better when we start going through conditions such as schizophrenia and obsessive compulsive disorder. These neurotransmitters play a big role in a lot of those issues that go on with mental health. So it's just really nice to understand the foundations of the pathophysiology. All right, let's first start with dopamine. Dopamine is commonly referred to as the feel-good neurotransmitter. It gives you pleasure. And that is because its mechanism of action is excitatory. So this is what gets you excited, it gives you motivation, it helps you feel good. So that is what dopamine really allows your brain to do. It helps it feel good. It also helps coordinate muscular movements, so your gross motors. So anytime you have complex movements, that is also regulated by dopamine. It also helps regulate your emotional responses. So right away, if you're thinking of different mental health disorders, you can think bipolar disorder. So dopamine can go very high and very low. So that's why these patients sometimes have very excited moments where they're manic and then very low moments when they're very depressed. But another really big one related to dopamine is addiction. So when you use a substance, it creates an excitatory mechanism. It releases dopamine, makes you feel really good, but then you really bottom out afterwards and it makes you dependent on that substance. So dopamine is a very big neurotransmitter related to addiction. And lastly, dopamine is located in the brainstem. So that is just a really good summary of what dopamine does, and it's related to pretty much all of the mental health disorders. So you can think schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, depression. You can think, of course, like we said, addiction. So anytime you're feeling very unmotivated or low and they don't have a lot of excitement, well, they probably have low dopamine. Versus on the other end, where they're very excited, hyper energetic, so maybe ADHD, you're manic and your bipolar disorder, that would be high dopamine. And this can also be related to neuro conditions such as Parkinson's disease, where you might have a low dopamine as well. And a low dopamine is related to why Parkinson's disease patients have a hard time doing complex movements and gross motor skills. The next one is norepinephrine. So norepinephrine is also an excitatory mechanism of action. It's the most prevalent neurotransmitter that we actually have in our brains. That's just kind of a fun fact there. This one's not as impactful as dopamine related to mental health conditions, but it is something to keep aware of course. This one helps you keep focused. It helps with good sleep. It's good for your cognitive abilities such as learning and memory. And this is also located in the brainstem. And then moving right on to epinephrine. So epinephrine, once again, is also excitatory. It is located in the brainstem as well. But epinephrine, you can think of this as your adrenaline. That is actually another name for it. And it controls your fight or flight. So when you have a fight or flight moment, so when you have a shock or something that really surprised you, and your body is feeling that it's at risk or it's unsafe, then you have an option of two choices. You have fight or flight. That is that neurotransmitter that controls that. And then you have serotonin. So serotonin is an inhibitory mechanism of action, so the opposite of excitatory. And it is actually considered the happy hormone. So if you have low serotonin, that's where you always hear, especially with those medications that you take for depression, if you have low serotonin, you're more likely to be depressed because this is your happy hormone. This is located in the brain and it's responsible for food intake and sexual behaviors as well. So that lack of motivation as well could be related to a low serotonin. So it's pretty much hand in hand with your dopamines, your feel good, your serotonin is your happy hormone. So those go hand in hand. When you're low on both of those, you're more likely to be depressed, you're more likely to have no motivation, and you're more likely to withdraw yourself from social interactions. And then you have your acetylcholine. So this is a neurotransmitter that's actually not located in the brain or the brainstem. It's actually located in your peripheral nervous system because it has a high functionality of stimulating your muscles. It also plays a big role with your sleep-wake cycle. So when you have an imbalance in there, acetylcholine might be the reason why as well. And this mechanism of action is excitatory and inhibitory. So this one's a little bit of a unique one. Acetylcholine is more likely related to your neurocognitive disorders such as Alzheimer's disease and also, once again, Parkinson's disease. With Alzheimer's disease, it's likely low acetylcholine because acetylcholine plays a good role in memory. And it is also related to the cognitive challenges that Parkinson's disease patients have. And then lastly, you have GABA. So GABA is inhibitory. That's its mechanism of action. And think of GABA as your balancer. It is there to help balance all the neurotransmitters in your brain, in your nervous system. So if GABA is imbalanced, then there is not much of a way to balance the others. So it really is like your balancing act there for your dopamine, your serotonin, all the other neurotransmitters that we just discussed. GABA is there to hold them all in place and make sure they don't go too low or too high. This is also in the brain and brainstem. All right, guys, that covers neurotransmitters. I hope this video was helpful. Once again, these are good just to understand for your pathophysiology when you start getting into the mental health conditions. It just helps you have a broader understanding of why we're ordering certain medications and everything like that. So make sure you guys take a look at the rest of our mental health content, and we look forward to seeing you in the next one.